Welcome back. Unintentional carbon monoxide poisoning claims more than 400 lives and sends another 20,000 people to the emergency room in America, according to the U.S. Fire Administration. But there are steps that you can take to protect your family. And here to discuss this issue with me is William Norton. He's the Energy Resource Compliance Coordinator for the City of Mesa. William, thanks so much for being here with me. William, let's talk a little bit about carbon monoxide. Can you start by telling me what it is?
Carbon monoxide is an odorless, colorless gas that interferes with the delivery of oxygen of the blood to the body. It's impossible to see, taste, or smell carbon monoxide, and because of this, it's a health issue. When someone has low exposure to carbon monoxide, you have symptoms similar to the flu or food poisoning. Long-term exposure to carbon monoxide can be dangerous. If someone feels they have carbon monoxide poisoning, they should seek out immediate medical attention.
Okay, so as a natural gas homeowner, what are some steps that I could take to ensure the safety of my family, or that I'm using natural gas appropriately and safely?
Well, first of all, we recommend that you have a carbon monoxide detector in the home. And there's a number of different detectors out there. They range anywhere from $17 to $35 to start, from a battery operated to the type that you would plug into a home. Most home improvement stores supply these, and the prices have come down substantially.
Are there any other tips that you could offer?
Yes, an appliance needs to be maintained just like a vehicle. So what you want to do, especially prior to the heating season, is have someone that's qualified come out and maintain and visually check the operation of that appliance. Particularly furnaces, because with the heating season coming up, you want to make sure that that system is maintained.
So it really sounds like it's just an issue of respect and proper use.
Correct.
William, thanks so much for being here with me today. I learned a lot from the safety tips that you shared, and I'm sure our audience will as well.
It's my pleasure.
And here to give us a first-hand perspective of what our crews are seeing when they respond to scenes is Captain Forrest Smith, our Public Information Officer. Forrest, thanks so much for being here
Absolutely,
with me.
Melissa, thank you very much.
So let's start off with trends that you see when you're responding to calls and it has to deal with carbon monoxide. What exactly are you seeing as the biggest issues?
Well, Melissa, fortunately, one trend that we are not seeing is the fact that when people are using their furnaces and their ovens correctly, we're not running on calls where people are exposed to carbon monoxide poisoning. Where we're finding a problem, though, is that when people are modifying their ovens, and especially their furnaces, putting walls around them, doing things like that, those modifications right there actually can increase their susceptibility to being exposed to carbon monoxide poisoning.
One of the safety devices that a family could use is a carbon monoxide detector. So can you give me a little bit of information about how to use it correctly?
Melissa, what we want to advise your viewers is that just like when you buy a smoke detector, buying your carbon monoxide detector should be one that is a reputable brand, one that you can trust. We also want to make sure that you follow the instructions that they have in the packet that basically tell you to put them outside living quarters. Like your smoke detectors, they should be in the hallway outside of bedrooms.
Now, is the carbon monoxide detector going to make a sound just like the smoke alarm would to alert us?
It certainly will. It's designed to read certain readings, and when it reads those readings, it will make a loud enough noise to wake everybody up in the home. But in the event that your alarm does go off, we want to make sure that you do have an escape plan for your home. Just like a fire, you want to make sure that everybody knows where to go and that you've already pre-planned a way to get out of the house.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take that similar to the home escape plan, and I would need to call the fire department once we've exited the home?
That's right. But one of the things you want to also make sure too that you do is that if you have multiple people in the house, if everybody has some of the similar signs and symptoms of that nauseous, dizzy type of feeling, then that tells us there's been a group of people or there's been a mass exposure. And that would actually lead to the fact that there may be some issue there. But when in doubt, certainly call, get everybody out of the house safely, and then from there, let us come in and assess what the situation is.
Okay, and I know you talked a little bit about modifications and some of the different heating methods that people were using that you were seeing just this past year. Can we talk a little bit about what those alternative methods are?
Right, one of the things that we did see where people were using their ovens to heat their homes. So a big concern we have is that once you have your oven running, especially inside an area that's not ventilated, that builds up that level of carbon monoxide. Ovens are designed just to cook, not for heating. So we certainly want to reiterate that people only use it for that. The other thing that we saw too is that when people may have been doing some renovations in their homes, they may have a furnace in the garage. One of the precautions that we also want to make sure that people have is that contact somebody who's a professional, because when you do those modifications, you may be encasing that furnace inside a wall and essentially not allowing for ventilation as well. So when it comes to doing anything like that, certainly consult a professional. Now, the other concern we do have, and a really big trend we saw, was the use of barbecue grills. We bought this barbecue grill inside mainly to be able to just give an example of the dangers of doing this. Again, this is mainly designed to cook with, that's it. Some people may put it right by the door just thinking that they don't want to go out too far outside because it's cold. But again, that heat and that smoke that's coming in could actually lead to higher carbon monoxide poisoning. But allow me to back up real quick. It's not just because you see smoke. Carbon monoxide, as we know from earlier, is clear and odorless, so you could be exposed to carbon monoxide just by having that grill by the door and having it coming into home. So keep it clear of openings.
So it's really important then to have that carbon monoxide detector, because that's really one of the only ways that we're going to be notified that we're at risk.
That's absolutely correct. Make sure that you have a carbon monoxide detector, and again, from a reputable manufacturer. Okay,
and you spoke a little bit about furnaces, so can we go ahead and go outside and look at the furnace here at Station 203?
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Okay, Melissa, as you can see here at Fire Station 203, we do have a furnace, and notice how we have it in a separate area, no modifications around it, completely clear and open.
So I know the first time we turn the heater on at home, there's always a burning smell. Is that anything that we should be concerned about?
Melissa, not necessarily. Valley-wide, we've been getting a lot of calls for that smell of smoke inside at home, especially when we find out that the person that turned their furnace on the first time, what we know is that is mainly dust on the coils. That'll burn off. What you could do, essentially what you could do is just open up all your doors and windows, let that air out, and everything will be just fine.
So it's really just all about maintenance and good upkeep.
That's exactly it. Maintenance, good upkeep. If you need to, every season have a qualified professional come out, check the furnace. A lot of times they'll go through, dust those coils off, clean up around the area, and you should be good for that cold season.
Thank you so much, Forrest, for being here with me. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Appreciate it.
And thank you so much for watching this edition of What's on Fire. We hope you'll join us next time. Until then, be safe.